How many of you have had a wow moment while you're traveling, where your surroundings slap you in the face and say, I can't believe we're here right now? Today, I'm going to tell you about 3 wow moments that I had while visiting the Punta Laguna Monkey Reserve in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Hey guys, it's Erik. Thanks for checking out this video. Today I'm going to tell you about one of the experiences I had when I was traveling in Mexico in 2015. Punta Laguna Monkey Reserve is just outside of Valladolid, Mexico. The land was protected by the Mexican government in 2002, and it acts as a home for many local Mayan families who live and work on the reserve, as well as a wide variety of animals. After I arrived and was able to find a guide that would be willing to take out a solo traveler, we headed out into the jungle to see what we could find. So we started walking through the jungle, and right away I realized that my guide knew a ton about the jungle that we were walking through. He was pointing out all these different birds and insects and trees and things that, you know, so many people would just walk right past and not even realize. And so it was really cool to be able to get this experience. As I was walking through the jungle with my guide, that's when I had the first wow moment of the day. Here I am being guided through the Mexican jungle by the descendant of the native Mayans that have lived here in this area for hundreds of years. He's barely making a sound as he walks. There are monkeys watching us from above as we pass by the remains of ancient Mayan structures. And I'm hit with this feeling that this moment is truly special. Everything in this moment belongs here, except for me, which made the value of this opportunity even stronger. That's wow moment number 1. Wow moment number 2. The thrill and the excitement of flying down the zip line, soaring over the lake and the forest, it was something I'm never going to forget. After I landed at the bottom of the zip line, my guide followed after. Then we climbed into a canoe to see if we could find a family of howler monkeys that lived on the shore of one of the lakes. Luckily, we didn't have to look too hard. Before we go further, I want to know, what are your guys' wow moments? Where were you? What were you doing? Who were you with? I'd love to hear your stories, and maybe I'll get some ideas of where to go next. Please go ahead and describe them down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe because you'll be able to follow along with some new moments that I'm going to be able to share with you guys. So, after our canoe ride back across the lake, we worked our way back up to the front where we met one of the elders of the Mayan community that lived on the reserve. My guide explained how before I would be able to be allowed to do the next part of the tour, I needed to participate in a traditional ceremony that would ask for permission for me to be able to enter a sacred area. It's also a ceremony of purification and to kind of cleanse the spirit and the body of any negative things. It was very interesting. My guide explained how in the traditional Mayan culture, the 4 directions, north, south, east, and west, all play a very important role in the traditional rituals and ceremonies. You can see right in the front of the altar here, what looks like a cross is actually more of like a compass. It's pointing to the 4 directions. At one point you can see the older gentleman pointing to the 4 directions and including that into his prayer. After the ceremony, we make our way over to the cenote. Now, a cenote is a cave. The Yucatan Peninsula has a really interesting geology. It's mostly limestone, and what's happened over time is caves have formed from water flowing through the rock. And so almost over the entire Yucatan Peninsula, there are these cave systems that connect to each other underground. These cave systems have filled up with water, and many of them have collapsed or opened up to the surface. And so all throughout the jungle you can find these caves with water at the bottom that go as deep as you can possibly see and have openings in the top. Now, the reserve has its own cenote. This specific cenote was used as a sacrifice location at some point in history.
Sí. Okay.
Por aquí hay una parte, pero tienes que bajar unos 6 metros para observar por ahí. Esta parte. Te metes y ves allí cómo está formando.
Okay.
Y los huesos. Y hay como
Okay.
unas señales allí, como hilos.
Okay.
Y unos hilos.
Sí.
Se ve por aquí y lo llegas a ver. Pero aquí es donde terminan las piedras, ahí es donde 1 metro más es donde está.
Okay.
Y te metes por ahí.
Okay. Gracias.
So climbing down into this cenote was wow moment number 3 of the day. Being able to enter a location that is such an important part of both their history and their culture, it was really a unique opportunity for me that I'm really grateful for. The cenote was the last part of the tour, so we headed back to the main visitor center. And I took a couple minutes to visit with some of the other men. The people in the community rely on the tour that the reserve provides as a source of income. Definitely recommend you guys visiting there. So this adventure that I had in the Mexican jungle, it was something that I'm never gonna forget. You know, climbing down into the cenote and ziplining over the lagoon. I'm never gonna forget that. These are my wow moments of this trip. And again, I love to hear some of the wow moments that you guys have had. What makes a wow moment for you? Please let me know in the comments below. So these wow moments that we have really make our traveling worthwhile. I was able to explore a new location in an intimate and exciting way that will serve as a lasting memory for the rest of my life. So when you travel to a new place, I encourage you, seek out some of these wow moments. Go and find something and make it worth your while. Don't just go and do the same thing that you would do if you were at home. Step outside of that comfort zone a little bit and try something that you wouldn't normally do, even if it's a little bit scary or a little bit strange, or more often than not, these activities are going to make your trip something unique and absolutely special that you'll never forget. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it. If you have any feedback, comments, please down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say or think. Thanks for letting me share my stories with you, and I'll see you next week.